Welcome to Mike's of the Roundtable, presented by Cinescape Media. We're going to set the table with topics from all areas. And this show is brought to you by the Cinescape Media Network. Be sure to visit cinescape.media for a complete listing of all the great podcasts and content they have available. Joining us at the table today, there's Sean.
Yo.
There's Dex.
What's going on?
And there's Bill.
Hey, drive responsibly.
Yeah,
Bill's not at a table right now.
No, Bill's our man out in the field. He's our field reporter for Mike of the Roundtable.
I'm in the field right now, guys. It's like a zombie town around here. There's just Ford Aerostars all over the road right now. It's a great economy vehicle.
Where are you? Where is it you're headed? You're headed to get food?
I'm heading north.
You're heading north. That direction.
I got to get away from this virus.
Is the sun up? Then put it on the left.
Follow the constellations.
Yes.
I think that's Orion, or maybe that's Sagittarius's belt. I don't know.
Break out the star charts.
I think it's
Star
labia.
charts.
It's labia major.
Oh, labia. Yeah, it looks pretty wide. Yeah, it's definitely wide. Yeah, it's wide.
Dex, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Busy day at work today, surprisingly.
Sean, you were saying you were productive today. You had a productive day.
Sean killed a man.
With a trident.
All
I'm a little wiped out, man. Just taking care of the baby all day, and then I was moving stuff in and out of storage and recaulked the bathtub in the bathroom. And more power. I'm wiped out.
Wiped out. Bill, you doing all right, man? Other than the fact that you're driving around avoiding the undead and trying to scavenge for rations for the camp.
Yeah, man, I found some maggots crawling on a can of Spam outside of a local food bank here in Burkettshireville. Is that a field sobriety test going on?
Probably.
I think so.
I've been playing State of Decay too, so this is all ringing pretty true to me right now.
You
Nice.
smoke K2 also?
Yeah, it's great. It's the best,
Sweet,
man.
bro.
There's no high quite like it.
Gotta be careful though, man. It's synthetic, fucks you up.
Anybody, because this is going to kind of tie into what we're talking about today. Anybody watch anything interesting lately? I know last week we were talking about an AI special, which I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, I've been just watching a lot of conspiracy docs lately.
Sean's going hardcore into the conspiracy docs too. Let's be real. Like, I'll get a message. Dex, you see this one yet? Dex, you see this one yet?
Like, you gotta watch this right now.
I have a list now from freaking Sean.
Need to let Sean's wife know if he starts buying yarn, call the police.
No, she's been watching them for years before me.
Oh, nice.
So the reason I'm asking is because we all saw Tiger King. We all know what the hell that is, right? Yeah. So it was recently announced that a scripted series telling the story of Joe Exotic and everyone else involved in the Tiger King documentary is going into production, and they have cast just the greatest bad actor of all time, Nicolas Cage, to play the Tiger King, Joe Exotic himself. First, let's just get some initial thoughts on this. Let's see, Sean, how you feel about this?
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. I need that crossover. Joe Exotic, national treasure.
It's more like I'm gonna
Beautiful.
steal the menu from the Waffle House.
I can't tell you how much of a perfect casting I think this is. And I've been seeing, since the announcement, I've been seeing people bitching, they should have picked David Spade. They should have picked this, that, or the other guy. You can't tell me that Nick Cage isn't the perfect choice for this. All right, he doesn't look like David Spade as Joe Dirt, so to say. But, I mean, when you're looking for somebody who's going to play the role of an absolute batshit crazy dude, who do you think of? Nick Cage, number one. Absolute great perfect casting.
Dex, how you feeling about this, man?
I love it because it's like the real version was that bad, but engaging. So to have Nick Cage play that guy is going to be that much worse, but that much better at the same time. Because it's just going to be a whole different thing.
It's not like he's having to create this character. This character exists. This is a real dude. Bill, what do you think when you saw this news, man?
I pretty much have to agree with the panel here. I mean, yeah, people were like David Spade or whoever else. I mean, those people play characters, but I think when you think about an actor who's going to embody and be the character, it has Nick Cage written all over 100%. So
the tiger ate his face off.
His face off.
Yes, that's great.
This idea of like they look like the person, so they have to play it. That doesn't mean you can play it. We want someone who can, like Sean said, be the batshit crazy motherfucker that Joe Exotic is. And exactly, but because I think about all the times Nick Cage goes full Cage in a movie, I want him to go full Cage in character as Joe Exotic.
Yes.
And it'll be everything that dreams and nightmares are made of simultaneously.
That bitch Carol Baskins.
I can't wait to hear him yell about her. That's going to be fun to watch. We're going to have to clip that out for sound drops. Absolutely.
Now, what is this? What is the show going to dramatize exactly? Because
I think it's just going to. They don't have a whole lot of details yet. They're just going to tell the same story, just in a scripted scene-by-scene form as opposed to a bunch of documentary footage. I'm trying to find the original article I could find.
See, they should make it a sitcom.
I saw it was going to be 8 parts. That was the most I saw.
Yeah.
And then they told who the girl was going to be that's playing Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actress who's on the Goldberg and was in Reno 911.
Isn't it Wendy something?
Yeah, Wendy. Yeah. So we were doing my live stream today, and somebody suggested her for Carol Baskins, and
that's not bad.
It's amazing. I think that's an amazing casting pick.
Who was the pick?
I'm trying to get her name here. Wendy McClendon Covey, who she was the blonde on Reno 911, and she's the mom on the Goldbergs.
Yeah, I think that's a top-notch cast right there.
I don't think you could really do a whole lot better than
what
that.
What about Bonnie Hunt?
No.
What?
Kind of looks like her.
She's not doing anything right now, but
yeah.
No, they're getting the Mad About You revival going.
Oh, that's right. That's Helen Hunt.
Yeah, Helen Hunt. Her too.
She looks like a Helen
Wrong Hunt.
Bonnie Hunt. God, she's got to be 90 by now.
Oh, I know. The main reason I wanted to bring this up is because I've seen some folks talking about this, and I thought it was something we could break down. You talk about we're making a scripted television series about this guy, but after watching the documentary and realizing he was having these people working for him basically 15 hours a day for only like $100-something a week. He was feeding them expired meat off the back of a truck.
Meth.
Wally.
The meth, the basic, basically had these guys as his sex slaves, trying to hire a hitman to take this woman out. Not to mention all the other batshit crazy people involved in this. You've got Doc with his orgy harem, and Carol with the murder plot and all that, and then there's Jeff, the con man. And people have wondered, is this an example of Hollywood glorifying these criminal actions? Is it appropriate for film and television to take stories like these and make them into entertainment? So I kind of want to go around and discuss this with everybody. Dex, we'll start with you because Sean's looking a little too eager, so we're going to get to him later.
Like you said, it's funny because I've thought about it before, and like you're saying, when things are this messed up and we decide to glorify it by putting it on a TV show or putting it in a movie, are we actually giving people a reason to just be that retarded? Or mind the word, sorry. I know some people might get offended, but are we giving people permission? Are we giving people permission to just be that ridiculous and then hope they get a show? Because, think about it. You had 16 and Pregnant for a while, and I know around here I heard a couple people, oh, maybe I'll be on that TV show. It's like, why would you want to be on that TV show? So, I mean, while yes, it's great and fun entertainment, it's like, should we be feeding into some of these kind of, lives and just giving them tons of money because they were that ridiculous?
We'll wait for Bill to finish picking up his food before we.
Yeah, I'm in the lobby here now. They're gathering my order.
They're gathering
here. But to your point, Dex, that was when there was we have these mass shootings going on. There was one that happened in Australia, and I remember the mayor of that town saying they weren't going to release the name of the shooter because at the end of the day, like, that's what he wants. He wants the attention. Is this kind of in the same vein as that?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's not on that dramatic of a scale, but at the same time, it's like we're glorifying stupid behavior for stupid amounts of money.
So Sean, let's go to you here because, like I said, you were all ready to talk about this when I dropped the topic yesterday. How are you feeling about all this?
Fired up.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Dex was just saying. Glorifying people for bad behavior, basically, and look at the advent of reality TV. How long it's been going on, and then the age of the internet. People been looking at other people doing stupid shit online for a number of years now, so it's very commonplace. And when you sit back and think about everything, like, I'm sitting here wasting brain cells watching this idiot, jump through a table or something or whatever they're doing, and they're actually going to be getting rich off of this. So, who's the real dummy there? Is it me for watching it or you for doing it and then profiting off of it? But it is absolutely, it's glorification. We make scripted TV shows about it. We make movies about it. We write crime novels about it, whatever it is. And, these are ultimately, at the end of the day, these are real human stories. And that's, what movies and TV are about, human stories. So we're taking from whatever's going on in the real world and adapting it. Now, I mean, there's two ways of thinking about it. It's like, are we just glorifying it just to exploit it and make money off of it? Or are we just, using what's going on in the world and applying it so people can relate to the story that we're trying to put out there? So, I mean, your cynical side could think the one thing and, the other side could think the other. So, I mean, it's a tightrope that you're going to walk there. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to come down to your choice to view or not view or read or not read or whatever it is. Nobody's going to make you watch 16 and Pregnant or at Floribama Shore or whatever they're doing. So I don't know, I'm kind of straddling the fence on this one.
Bill, are you in a place where you can talk about this real quick? Or
I'm waiting outside.
Bill, you can't park there. You can't park there. Look behind you, sir.
Parking my ass right here.
Over your right shoulder. Look up. No parking.
I
order fire marshal. That's Fire Marshal Bill right there.
In my camera.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Let me show you something.
Bill, when it comes to the we got more we're going to get to, but the glorification side.
Yeah, the glory holes.
I was going to say that too.
On the glory hole.
Glory holes. So one, I mean, if it's there, I'm going to use it. But two, this is just dumb shit that they know people, in these entertainment companies can make money off of, because people love watching, just the downfall of someone's life, or just the tragic story of dumb people. People eat this shit up. Anything that will make them feel better than themselves, and something that's more surreal than life. Like the fact that this is somebody's life that's taking place somewhere, and all the shit that you can't make up. It's like there's guns, there's meth, there's gay sex, there's tigers eating, people possibly. There's tigers being sold, to buy a hitman basically. There's cults. There's cults basically, like sex cults, and it's mind-boggling that this books sports and shit. So it's just mind-boggling that something like this is taking place, and it certainly makes people feel better about their life. But I mean,
it's like for instance, my wife watches 90 Day Fiance. Like she watches all these TLC and Lifetime reality shows. There's this idiot who's been being catfished by this woman over in Europe somewhere, like Eastern Europe, for like the last 7 or 8 years, and he's spent like $100,000 on this chick, and he went over there just to find her because he's never actually spoken to her on the phone or video chatted with her or anything like that. So he's just like roaming around like whatever country they're in, like Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic or some shit. And we're sitting in this in the living room laughing at this guy being a complete moron. And like Bill said, like it makes you feel better about your own life decisions and how things are turning out, because I'm not searching for some person that I've never seen before. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if it's going to make you feel a little less shitty about what your life's like, I guess that's cool.
So I guess one question I wanted to pose to everyone is, is there ever a point where this kind of thing maybe goes too far? We all want to believe in the idea, and the freedom, the freedom of art and expression, separating art from reality. Can it get to a point where it does go too far? Let's start with Sean on this one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and all it takes is the right / wrong person to come across something that's going to resonate with them in a way that's going to make them act out whatever fantasy or however they're taking this content, your movie theater shootings or whatever it is. They're going to act these things out. Oh, well, I saw the Joker do it, so I'm going to go out and do it too, and he's really cool and everybody loves him. Well, I'm going to try it. Okay, you're going to have your wackos like that. But I mean, in terms of what the actual content is, I mean, it's you really can't say that for certain, because all art is subjective. But I think we have the FCC in place, right, to filter out some of these things that aren't supposed to be shown for children or whatever ages. So I mean, whether it's good enough, bad enough, the MPAA, whatever it is. I mean, there are safeguards in place for things like that, but I mean, there's just outlandish, over-the-top stuff out there that you've never heard of or could even imagine looking at or listening to that would just make your stomach churn. I mean, and especially watching these conspiracy docs, Bill, you've seen some of them. This chick, Marina Abramovich, I think is her name.
Sure.
She's kind of like this avant-garde artist who's tied up in all these like satanic cults. They have these spirit cooking sessions where basically they're giving out recipes that are cannibalistic, and her art is very, very strange. They have parties where there's human cakes, basically, where they're ripping out pieces of the people and eating them, and
wow,
all sorts. Yeah, exactly. It's just some of the most fucked up shit you've ever seen. Maybe we can post some of it. Never. You can go look at it yourself, but it's terrifying. I mean, shit like that. Like, how could you even have that come out of your brain to put down onto paper or as some sort of an artistic creation? I mean, it's just deranged and depraved. And to somebody like me, I think something like that is crossing the line. To other people, it may not be. But like I said, all art is subjective. But I mean, all you have to do is look at something to see whether that's okay or not okay. And I think some of the stuff like that and other people that are like that, I mean, not okay. So there's an example right there for you.
Yeah, the artist subjective line is the part that I always come back to when I'm dealing with something like this, is because it is hard to decide what does really determine what is okay and what's not, because at the end of the day, it might not be as bothersome to some, but whether that person's a fucked up individual or they again are able to separate that art from reality. You brought up the shooting at the Dark Knight Rises that took place at the theater. There was actually a movie.
Yes, it's big.
There was a movie made about that shooting called Dark Knight, NIGHT, it's chaos, but it was moved in 2016, and it just tells the story of the alleged story of the shooter and some of the victims from that shooting that took place. And the movie ends with the shooting taking place, and the question comes up, like, was this okay to make? Because again, it was made in 2016, so not that long after, only a couple of years after the actual shooting took place. And
Right.
raises the question, what, at that point, do we consider that crossing the line, or is it simply a matter of time? Was it simply too soon?
I mean, the same thing with 9/11 movies that came out, or the Boston Marathon bombing stuff that came out. Anytime there's some kind of tragedy, in the next year, there's going to be at least one movie or a bunch of docs out about it. Is that exploiting something that just happened strictly to make money? Is it healing for the people that are watching it? I mean, there's a lot of different avenues you can travel down with questions like that, and it's kind of hard to differentiate, if it's okay or not based on what you're getting out of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Dex, where are you sitting on all this?
I'm in the same boat. I mean, if, like you said, where is the line? Like, we all can have, like, is there a basic moral code line that you can just say no? Example, like you're talking about, we're following different people in different parts of their lives that's like super tragic in some way, or we're following people doing certain things. Where's the line of, like, is the line where we're actually going to follow a serial killer and actually watch him plan a real murder? Like, because that one, I would 100% think that's not okay. I don't care. You can say art is subjective to that, but I don't think that line won't apply to that. Like, is that the only line you get to? Or is there somewhere before that we would maybe stop? Because, like you said, we have documentaries on all these shootings, on all these, the 9/11s, the mass terrorism, things like that. But again, where is that the line? Like, the actual planning and plotting of it.
And because that brings into question, like, the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie.
Yeah.
Now granted, a lot of that was kind of from the perspective of his wife or girlfriend or whatever, but again, that really that delved more into not necessarily painting him as a protagonist, but because again, it was a matter of perspective, but we're really getting into the mind and the method of this, I would say almost objectively terrible person. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm out of line by saying he's objectively a bad person. He's a serial killer, folks. He's not.
I would agree.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. So, Bill, what about you, man?
Yes.
All right,
walk into the store and answer this question.
Yeah, walk in the store and start having a conversation about serial killer movies, and
you should ask somebody in there what they think about it.
You're a field reporter, man.
You are on the field. You are out in the field.
Man, he just wants his wings.
Yeah, they told me 10 minutes, and it's been longer than 10 minutes.
What do you think about serial killers?
I'm angry here.
What do you think about serial killers, Bill?
Some of them do good. Most are bad.
Like Dexter.
I'm glad we have documentaries as the foundational footage for their atrocities, or else we would never know what they've done. Yeah. I mean, one good series that I liked was the Waco series. Have you guys seen that on Netflix?
I haven't watched it yet.
It was on Paramount like 2 years ago. It was really good. You should check that out, because that was like some crazy shit that going down where they like all the kids and women got killed there and stuff, and that's crazy. Sean, you would like that because it involves the government going in there and like mowing down basically all these people.
Well, they got tipped off that the FBI was coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise.
So I guess the last one I would put is the idea of, is it too soon for certain things? Are there certain things that after a certain time is there like a disconnect that happens? Do you think there is like a set amount of time we should have before something kind of becomes fair game? Dex, what do you think?
That's a tough one. I mean, I guess if it's one of those things where you can say the bigger the tragedy, the longer you should wait.
Time to go mobile.
But then again, if it's a small thing, but it's in like a school or something, then it's kind of a bigger thing. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, okay, this event, wait 1 year. This event, you're going to wait 2 years. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that. And then again, back to, artist expression or whatever, you're going to have somebody that's going to want to jump on every tragedy as fast as they can, like you said. And I don't know, you want to call it sadistic or whatever, they're going to want to make the most money by putting out the first video of that tragedy. And that's tragic. Like, you want to be the first person to profit off of another tragedy is, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Sean?
Yeah, I mean, Dex definitely brings up an interesting point there. I mean, like you said, are you're going to set like a statute of limitations on things, or this is when you're able to make a movie about X event that just happened, or and it is unfortunate because there are going to be people profiting off of serial killers going on a rampage or bombings or whatever it is, but at the same time people need to have these stories told and need to be able to go and have a cathartic experience about them and kind of put it at the forefront of their minds. So it's a really tricky situation there, because anytime something like that happens and then you hear, oh, there's 3 movies about the Boston Marathon bombings coming out next year, when it happened, you feel like they're just trying to capitalize off of something. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I mean, you're relaying actual human stories to other humans and putting it out there. So it's a real catch-22.
Yeah, because it's one thing to be telling a story of something that happened, and it's hard to determine. Are we capitalizing, or are we simply just trying to tell the story? Because a lot of times the full details of a story, we don't get those for years at a time. I mean, even to this day, we're still learning out new things about Edgar Allan Poe that have been disproven. They recently discovered that he actually was not an opium addict, that he was actually very and that's been a long-standing stereotype about him for decades, for generations even. So what if we were to see, like, a completely hypothetical situation? Let's say, like, the MPAA were to come out and make something about how, like, or maybe not the MPAA, but whatever organization, saying, like, we won't produce films about true stories until after it's been, like, and any true story, like, you got to wait like 10 years to make a movie about something that actually happened or something like that. Do you think that's something that we could see happen if more things like this Dark Knight movie continue to be made? Is that something that could help? Would that be harmful? What do you guys think? We'll start with Sean.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, if you're going to take away stuff like that, it's going to take away ideas from producers and directors and writers. I mean, unfortunately, you look at the Dark Knight situation and the event that happened, and then they make a movie out of it. Well, if it's just like the cops. If the cops, if there's no crime going on, the cops don't have anything to do, right? So if there's no terrible tragedies going on, they're not going to have any source material to take from. So I don't know. It's the whole art, and then the subjectivity of everything, and it's just really difficult to put a line down in the sand of this is what it should be, this is what it shouldn't be, and we're just going to go off of that. I mean,
well, also then
I think go ahead.
You get into censoring. That's basically saying
it's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's censoring what you can put out there and saying, like, oh, you can't speak about this, for 10 years or whatever. I mean, that's absurd, So I think then, like Sean says, you can't draw a line in the sand with something like that, because then everything's going to be a touch and go situation. Like, oh, this person died and we can't talk about it. Fuck you. I'm going to talk about it.
Here's a solution. Ready? If you're going to make a movie like that, all the proceeds that go to it all the proceeds have to go towards some kind of charity. It can't go into your pocket.
Right.
You can't profit off of somebody else's misfortune.
That was actually exactly what I was going to say. I mean, you're going to need a little bit and I could 100% get behind that. If it's a movie about, like you said, Dark Knight, that guy had a mental problem, whatever proceeds should go towards some kind of mental health institution, something along those lines. Like, the proceeds should benefit whatever story is being told in that, in light of that. And
because if you're an artist and you care that much about telling that story, it's not going to matter to you if you make money off of it or not. So if I'm Steven Spielberg and I want to make a movie about whatever tragic event that happened, every cent that comes from the box office is going to some kind of charitable organization that deals with whatever topic that was. It's not going into my pocket.
Yeah, pay your people, pay whatever your time is, but don't make exorbitant amounts of money. After a certain point, say the rest of this money send to this.
Yeah, it's like Sean saying, your all your profits. Like once you break even, once you once you pay for the cost of the film, everything else goes to charity. Just for the record, the guy who made the movie Dark Knight, this was not like some big budget thing. He's an independent filmmaker. He just has made like 6 films in his entire career, one of which hasn't even been released yet. This wasn't like some big studio grab. This was some independent guy who was, probably a little bit trying to capitalize because again, this was like 3 years later, but mostly I think he was just trying to be deep and edgy. But yeah, I don't want to make it seem like this is some big budget thing. This was an independent film. It was like a festival release only, that kind of thing. I seriously doubt any movie theater would have carried this movie anyway. So, but yeah, so that's anybody got any final thoughts on anything with this, whether it's the Tiger King with Nick Cage or about what we've been talking about before we get into some other discussion stuff here?
Nah, I think I'm good.
I just can't wait for Nick Cage to play that bad of a character. I just cannot wait for that shit.
Didn't you ever see Wicker Man?
Yes.
Oh shit! I'm trying to find
puppies. That movie's great.
Marco.
He's actually making this
great
thing.
game.
Let's see here. So Dan, it's on Variety here. So it's being produced by CBS and Imagine Television. So it'll be a CBS show. Whoop-de-doo. Which means it'll probably go on CBS All Access. Fantastic. As far as who's running it, Joe Lagana, who made American Vandal.
I did see that. That show was great too.
Yes.
He'll be the one. I think it looks like he's going to be the showrunner behind this thing. So no details. I mean, obviously nothing's in production yet, but that's who they have so far on this thing. So good discussion, guys. I think as far as our main topic goes, what else is going on? You guys want to talk about? Dex, you got anything to bring to the table today?
Not much. I've literally just been fucking cleaning and planting a garden. Like, there's not much going on this week. I mean, I released the most recent episode of the podcast. The podcast doing not too bad. Sean liked the dad joke this week.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Sean, it was good enough where Sean messaged me. He's like, dude, that was great. Yeah, not too much going on this end.
Sean, what about you, man? Anything you want to bring to the table today?
I hung out with Bill the other day.
I'm sorry.
Like in person.
What? You did?
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah.
We hung out. It was cool.
Yeah, 6 feet.
Got to see somebody that I don't see 24 hours a day for once. It was cool. Other than that, the wife and I were looking to move in the hopeful immediate future. Like I said, I was moving stuff in and out of storage today. So we just had to switch to a larger size storage unit. So I got a bunch of stuff in there right now and doing a lot of repairs and renovations around here to get it listed. It's a big process. We actually got pre-approved for a mortgage 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. So yeah, we're looking to make moves in these unsettled times. Hopefully everything works out.
Looking for a bigger place to spread out more, or just
somewhere? We need more space for all the youngsters we got running around here.
He needs to build a studio.
That too. Well, the wife said any garage or anything that we wind up getting, that's man cave studio.
Nice.
Dude, let me know. I have an entire woodshed workshop out in the. I'm in an apartment, but I got an entire workshop that we can build whatever the hell we want.
I'll be bringing you right over.
Nice.
Bill, anything you wanted to bring to the table here, man?
Yeah, this person needs to fucking drive the speed limit.
Move it, Granny.
Fucking just pass this person on Route 13.
Bill, can you honk your horn for us, please? Just do it.
Well, I got somebody right next to me. I wish the person that I passed. I should have beeped at the person that I was passing.
Just random beep. We can't see what you're beeping at.
There you go.
Beep, beep.
There it is.
Yeah, I got my stimulus check the other day.
Woo!
Finally.
Hey, that was a
nice.
process
Yeah.
for you. I remember that.
Yeah, like a fucking month later.
Do you feel stimulated?
I feel very stimulated. I'm about to like go do the fucking poor man routine and just start buying shit like rims and AirPods and
Shoes.
You got the
all
best car for it too.
all kinds of dope shit.
Well, I mean, that is technically what it's for, to stimulate
Right?
the
Yeah,
economy.
it's stimulating
You're
shit.
supposed
Like
to buy stupid shit.
because if I buy rims, then I help out Joe manufacturer of rims, and then
You're helping out China.
China. Welcome to Wuhan Wheels.
Wuhan Wheels. Wuhan Wheels. Oh shit.
I
You got a
stuff
bat
my
symbol
face
on
with
them?
more fries here. Oh, yellow light!
Oh,
Oh, gas it.
I yielded.
Oh, he
I
pushed out.
yielded. I got expired fucking inspection stickers. I can't be fucking around.
Oh, cool.
yeah, me too.
Way to fest that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
They extended it a month, but then I don't know if they're extending them further.
So did you guys? So while we're still talking, did you guys see about this Universal Studios fighting the movie theaters bullshit going on right now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
This is getting
What?
heated, man.
Yeah, AMC and Regal are both not showing Universal movies anymore because they're putting out stuff on VOD.
Trolls 2 made like $100 million on VOD. So Universal said, well, that does it then. Once the theaters open back up, we're just going to be dropping our movies on VOD the same day they go to theaters. And AMC and Regal were like, fuck you. We're just
Yeah.
going to show your shit now.
Wow.
Now you can't tell me they're not going to change their tune once the next friggin' Fast and the Furious comes out.
I don't know, man, because those are two of the biggest three in the country. They're losing 17,000 theaters like that. And once Cinemark jumps on the bandwagon, that's the three biggest movie theater franchises in the country.
So what's to stop them from just opening up their own chain of theaters?
Nothing, but then they could fucking do that instead of telling fucking over the theaters. That's all they're doing. Because we lost Bill. Bill's
coming
back.
back.
Okay, cool.
Got him.
My thing is, they're basing this off of a knee jerk fucking business model. They put out one movie, a family movie during quarantine. No shit, it did well on VOD. No shit, it did well on VOD. That if they were to do like 6 movies and they were different genres and then they all turned a huge profit, okay, yeah, maybe, but one movie does well. Oh, well, that does it. Got to change the whole business model now. That's not going to work.
It's a perfect
It's
storm.
just greed
for it,
at its
too.
finest.
It's also just corporate greed. It's the people that already have the biggest slice of the pie wanting a piece of everybody else's tiny slice of pie too.
Yeah.
It's all it is. It makes no sense whatsoever. The only thing they're going to do is screw over movie theaters doing this.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
at the same time, are they going to get screwed over themselves? Because if those theaters decide, okay, we're not going to carry, and then everybody opens up, well, everybody's going to go the fuck outside and want to go do something.
You
So
guys
the
still
movie
there?
theaters are going to shoot up. Are you there, Bill?
We see you.
Bill, we can see you.
you.
All right, there you guys go. I don't know
Okay.
what happened.
Okay.
I just cut out there for a moment.
Weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have skyrockets in movie ticket sales. So now
I can't
they're
hear
going to
Dex.
lose
Dex
out.
Isn't
Oh, you can't hear me?
Dex?
Uh-huh. Okay, so we can't hear Dex. We've established that.
Nope.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's weird. All right.
It's that mobile.
It's
I mean,
Oh.
StreamYard's probably just filtering whatever he's saying as unimportant to me. So.
it's probably good. Well, Dex, you make a good point, and not only that, but you got to figure all the other studios are looking at this and saying, "Well, then shit. Now there's just more screens for us to put our movies on.
That too.
Now instead of Jurassic World 6 taking up 6 screens at the theater, that's more screens we can throw Black Widow on. That's more screens we can throw whatever.
Backdoor Sluts 9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's that was a big point of contention when Avengers Endgame came out. Was they thought maybe it wasn't going to be able to make enough as much money because it was so long and there was only so many screens per day they could show it on. Now a movie like that has the potential to make even more money because you can show it on more screens, and that's more theaters you can sell out. That, sorry, Universal, you just gave your competition a big boost in their income.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially like Dex was saying, I mean, once this, we're allowed to be able to, return to normalcy, you can't imagine the floods of people that are just going to be out and about doing everything possible. So, I mean, once movie theaters open up finally, you're going to have record-breaking weekends, consistently for the next probably 6 months to a year, I would bet. So, I mean, this is, like Mike, you were saying, this is definitely going to be a big blow to Universal, who's going to be missing out on having their stuff actually in the theaters. And it also is going to open up more opportunity for some of the other theaters and even smaller movies to get more playtime. So it's definitely going to have a lot of repercussions, and I'll be interested to see if this decision sticks outright going forward, or if they kind of rescind that a little bit. Everybody's a little nutty right now.
I could see this, possibly playing out well for Universal, though, at the same time, with the way the theaters are hurting. And I mean, even though AMC tries to, put down the foot here and say, oh, we're not going to show your movies in our theater, but can you really say that when your theater's on the verge of going bankrupt and, you're not going to be able to show movies in general? So, I mean, at the same time, too, I don't think people are going to be clamoring to go see, like, Tom Cruise in an Oblivion sequel, in the theaters.
Like he's filming in outer space right now.
So I mean, VOD for some Universal stuff might be a good option. So I wouldn't totally say it's like, oh, shame on Universal, because I mean they might actually benefit. I mean, this is a time where trying new business models and things like that, it's the time to experiment a little bit, and it's very much so a time where, trying something new or, something that isn't exactly proven in a market that's, in shambles and things like that, could definitely prove beneficial and get them on top in several ways. So, it's a wait and see.
I guess for me, like I said, I would have liked to have seen them not make this kind of like a policy change without experimenting with it some more. Like that would be like saying, hey, we've got this first test of the coronavirus vaccine. You test it once and then put it into mass production. Like you want to try it several times, try it outside of quarantine, see if it still works. Don't just make this massive industry altering, because that's exactly what this is. This is an industry altering kind of business move. Not only that, but I'd be looking, if I was a filmmaker, granted Universal isn't known for its Oscar clout, but if I'm a filmmaker making something for Universal and I want a shot at an Oscar, the Academy has rules in place where your film can't drop too early on VOD or it loses Oscar consideration. That happened, speaking of Nick Cage, that happened to his movie Mandy. They dropped the movie on VOD too soon after its theatrical release, and they disqualified it from Oscar submission.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So, if I'm a filmmaker, if Universal wants to bring me onto something, and I'm thinking that might be, I might be less likely to go for it if I think there's less of a chance I could receive recognition for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But I don't know. Again, if this was proven over like 6 different movies outside of a quarantine, I might be a little more on Universal's side on this. I think right now they're reacting a little too quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, knee jerk, jerking that knee.
But I mean that's the times we're in right now. I mean, there's a lot of knee jerk reactions going on in business, and it's like I said, it's going to take something bold to jump out like that, but we'll see how it plays out. They'll either look like geniuses or it's going to hurt them. So
I think it's a good point. I think this can either go one of two ways. It's either going to work out amazingly or it's going to blow up in their faces.
It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Take bets
around here.
Take bets, $10.
Yeah, what's the over under on this shit? I will lose my shirt betting on this.
Yes.
All right, fellas. Well, I think we had a hell of a discussion for today. I think we had a lot of stuff. We had two big topics, one of which didn't intend to get so big, but hey, fuck it.
All right, Bill.
All right.
I thought I had you on mute still. I'm sorry.
No,
Bill's playing the spoons.
we
We
heard
should play the
everything.
fucking spoons.
Got more keys than a janitor. But
It was silverware.
so, Jesus.
Is that real silver?
You need silverware to eat wings?
Well, they're boneless
Even?
wings.
They're what?
They're boneless wings.
Oh, so chicken nuggets.
No, they're boneless wings.
So really expensive chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they just
Listen,
got
it
extra
was
coating
half
on
off
the thing.
Tuesdays, okay?
Oh fuck, it was.
I love boneless wings. I'm not gonna lie.
They're so
Yeah, me
delicious.
Because they're
Yeah,
expensive.
it's
chicken
Cinco de Mayo, Bill. You could have got some tacos or something.
nuggets. I had Chinese for dinner on Cinco.
There you go.
We had taco dip cheesesteaks.
Nice.
Oh, that's
I ain't conforming to all that shit. I eat what I want when I want. No, I'm not talking about you.
it's whoa.
Oh, it's about to go down on video.
All right, let's
Yeah,
watch.
Bill's about to get yelled at.
Let's fall apart on camera. Yeah.
Why'd you take so long, Bill?
Get on the parking lot talking about serial killers. Jeez, get off my back.
Classic.
Good stuff. All right, fellas. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Let's table this discussion. Sean, where can everybody find you right now?
I just started a brand new podcast called The Eagles Nest about Philadelphia Eagles news, all sorts of good stuff there. So you can find that on all social media platforms at The Eagles Nest. And then I'm on Cinescape Media, all those stuff. Wherever, find me.
Dex, what about you?
You can check me out, Suburban Paranormal, on Twitter, Instagram, and
Can't hear you,
Facebook. The
Dex.
Instagram has been, Bill's he's lost in the sauce. But
am
Instagram
on
has
the
been
internet.
taken off, but we had some good discussions this week on some more UFO stuff and
I'm
skeptics
just gonna
that
fill in what he
figured this
said.
out.
And
I'm Dexter, and check out Paranormal. Paranormal.
You can't even
stuff.
get it fucking right.
It's called Neighborhood Paranormal, and
And
if you
yeah,
see me in your neighborhood, don't be afraid. I'm just looking for ghosts, and yeah.
and that's Bill, ladies and gentlemen.
And me, you can see me on my OnlyFans page.
You're older.
Fucking selling nudes.
Nudes to dudes.
Okay, and my name is Mike Shea. You can find me hosting Mixtape Radio every Monday. We just dropped our first monthly mixtape episode this week, so go check that out. And make sure you guys go to Cinescape.media, check out everything going on with the Cinescape Media Network, all our podcasts and everything else we got over there. And until next time, this has been Mike's of the Round Table, and we'll catch you guys here next week.
Bye.